Usamos estampillas también.
Close enough.
You are now tuned in to your number one radio station.
Violent people.
Radio.
Well, I was gonna say I'm gonna tell you that like it just life's
changed
been draining me and I don't have time, and then I'm about to tell you that I've watched the entirety of MLW Summer of the Beasts. So like, don't listen to me.
They switched the brackets. We got
What do you mean they switched? We gotta get into it. We gotta get into it
politics.
because I don't know what you're talking about. So we gotta get into it.
Welcome to Violent People Radio, episode 69. I'm your host, Sam Damasio, and with me, per usual, Dan Rice. Dan, how you doing?
Feeling big, feeling beautiful.
All right. Chris, I hear you're feeling frisky.
Oh yeah. I've been drinking some frisky juice. I do not think it is episode 69 though.
It's not. I don't know what episode it was, but
I think it's 57.
It's 50.
it feels like 69.
They all do.
They all do, brother.
What are we drinking, Chris?
I had some ham, some High Life.
Okay, all right.
Nothing too crazy, but enough of them.
And with us, per usual, a man who is certainly not concussed by the heat. Pat, how you doing?
It's the humidity. That's
That's what they
It's
always
the guy-
say.
It's the gosh
It's not
darn
the
humidity.
I am currently in my chair, tilted as far back as it goes, podcasting with my eyes closed. So that's where we're at.
Well, we're going to get right into it, folks. We're not going to bullshit around. We need to talk court Bauer, politics, the gambit. This is a special politics episode of Valiant People Radio, and we're going to be talking about CMLL pushing their weight around and switching the brackets for the Opera Cup as of today.
I missed this, so like you need to tell me what's going on.
All right. So yesterday they announced the Opera Cup outline, like a bracket. Okay. Here's what we got here. They had some great pairings sort of across the board. You got the winner of Mystico and Ikra Kwan versus the winner of Austin Aries versus Kushida. We could have gotten Mystico versus Kushida rematch. Kojima versus Bobby Fish versus the winner of Zandokin Jr. versus Blue Panther Jr. Dream matches galore at Opera Cup. Well, CMLL wasn't having it, and they said, hey, we need all of our guys on one half of the bracket and all you other MLW jabronis on the other half. So now you've got the winner of Aries and Kushida versus the winner of Paul London versus Akamura. The winner of
But Akamura is a CMLO guy.
Got you there.
Got me there. When was the last time he wrestled on CMLL?
I bet
Uh,
with
Probably
MLW for
Unrelated
sure.
to MLW. Recently?
I mean, yeah, like all the time apparently.
Still?
I mean, he's got to do something between tapings.
I mean, he wrestled there like 10 times in June, 8 times in June.
This is all right. This is all very fair. I'm looking at it and I'm like, you got me. Anyway, that's not in the spirit though. Okay. Paul London's not a CMLL guy. They don't have any other pairings of CMLL wrestlers. Like, it's just a bummer. Like we're being robbed of a potential Bishop Dyer versus Ultimo Guerrero match. It's just
Meet in
not
the
going to
finals.
happen. It's just Dan, truly not going to happen. Don't put this on me, Dan. I just need to hear your thoughts. What do you think about CML being
I don't.
just
I mean, obviously, I don't love it because I'm locked into the Opera Cup
every year?
every year. It just seems like silly little changes. Like, why couldn't Mystico face Kushida? Why does Mystico have to face Ultimo Guerrero?
It's already done it once.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe that's the thing. They want that to be the big match. Like so
That they
good.
want
Dan and Sam were
that
really
to be
high
the
on it.
yeah. Huh.
So Court's like, make it happen.
Um. Yeah, man. Because I'm spoiler alert. 3 of these matches have already happened. They tape them in June to air it in August.
I'm just happy that Kojima versus Bobby Fish is unaffected because, man, I would have been really upset if that dream match got taken away from me.
That is one of the matches that happened, and I almost read it as 18 minutes and 52 seconds. It's 8 minutes and 52 seconds. That other one would have been crazy.
That's still too long.
And now the winner of that is probably getting Bishop Dyer, unless we're getting a unexpected Anthony Green push.
You never know. You
Noah
never
Legend.
know.
I feel like I
He
know.
wrestles in Japan, so that's how you know he's a big deal. Anyway, what's your also thoughts on Davey Boy Smith Jr. not being part of it?
Well, he's in Japan all the time,
Doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right. Don't care, Dan. It's the Opera Cup. Some things
He's-
are bigger than Japan. Like the
You're
Opera
telling
Cup.
me. I think that he's won it twice.
Triples are best.
Yeah, maybe the only person to ever win it twice. I don't know. I'm just saying that. Like, who can know? They claim it goes back to our boy Hockenschmidt. So
Yeah. I don't think that's true. I think that's a lie. Court's out here working you.
I don't think Court would ever do that.
What?
I enjoy. Oh, I forgot about this. This is the one we covered, isn't it? Where they was just 4 dudes in the Opera Cup.
Yep. Yep.
Court
What a
rules.
tournament. What a tournament. We had high standards on talking tourneys. Talking tourneys.
Do you guys want me to talk about the wrestling I watched first? Because it feels like you guys want to talk about MLW.
Always want to
I
talk
would
about
love to
MLW.
talk about MLW.
I'm assuming you guys all watched Summer of the Beast 2025 as well, right?
It was on my YouTube homepage.
Okay, all right. I'll have you know that I got all the way to the day and I hadn't watched it. And I was like, I can't. So I squeezed it in. It took me 5 tries, but I got through it all.
Thank you. There's some good looking stuff on this.
Oh my god. Well, cage match, let's start out. Let me look real quick. It has everything here ranked between a 4.33 and a 6.73, which is, I don't agree with the rankings, but it's spot on the MLW level. That's what you're getting.
What's the high and what's the low?
Well, the low is Riddle and Kenta, and the high is Kushida and Diego Hill.
Okay, those should be reversed.
I will. We'll get into it. The opening match is a MLW World Tag Team Title match. We all know it's the Los Desperados or Depredadors. I don't want to say their name. Magnus versus Rodrigo versus the Skyscrapers, Bishop Dyer and Donovan Dijak.
Good name.
You have to give them the title shot, considering I think this is their first time ever teaming. And we talked about how healthy the MLW tag team division is. But I think, to be fair, I think they said it was some Mr. Saint Laurent, chicanery, some money in the envelope. This match wasn't bad. I don't know. I mean, like they threw him around a bunch, and Bishop Dwyer and Donovan Dijak were kind of fun, I thought, actually, in 9 minutes. Afterwards, the CMLO guys wanted to do a little handshake. Because it was like they didn't really cheat. It was like a clean match, and then the Skyscrapers were like, "Screw you," and they beat him down. The next match is the one that is like, I don't know how it has a 5.4. It's Brock Anderson versus Anthony Green. I don't understand running this match. I don't understand being like, it's a Brock Anderson showcase. And I guess
So
maybe yeah.
part of me always wants to stand up for Anthony Green just because, like, must be over
What I gotta
10
do?
years ago now. After work one day, I decided to walk over to where a wrestling show was happening for like $5 in an Elks Lodge or something like that in Norwood, Massachusetts. And he was on that show. Like, he must have been like 17 years old. He was, skinny and wearing like, jeans and a denim vest as his wrestling gear. And part of me is like, hey, good for that guy that he actually made it big, unlike everyone else on that show. But then the other part of me is like, I also don't want to watch an Anthony Green match. So the Massachusetts state loyalty only takes you so far.
Well, I actually think, gun to my head, you're like, you have to push Brock Anderson or Anthony Green. I think I'm pushing Anthony Green.
I
I
mean,
think Brock
I'm
Anderson has zero redeeming
like, if
qualities.
you're gonna push either of those guys, just fucking shoot me so I don't have to watch it.
That is the correct answer.
Damn.
And then, of course, because it's a Brock Anderson showcase and Anthony Green doesn't get a whole lot, Anthony Green is now in the Opera Cup, which makes sense. Brock
Yep.
Anderson not.
That'll do.
Speaking
do.
of why do you run this match? Yuki Kamifuku versus Wakana Yuhara. I don't know. Like, are they already here? Like, are we there? I guess they're a tag team, Uber Eats, and it just seems like there are countless women in America who can have subpar matches on MLW. It's not good. It's 7 minutes, but it feels like it's 17. And then afterwards, we get Shotzi Blackheart debuting. So it's like you follow this terrible match with a terrible promo putting over the match awkwardly, where then like Kamifuku is just like, I think I understand you, Shotzi, is like something she actually says. And then they leave, and then Ava Everett comes out, and it's more terrible promos, and that's setting up the big Ava Everett versus Shotzi Blackheart match that we're all waiting for.
Thank God.
So Kamifuku has something over the other Joshi wrestlers in that she used to live in America when she was like a kid.
I think
So she
Ohio.
actually, yeah, she speaks English better than, like, say, like if you wanted to bring like Mayu Iwatani, she doesn't speak a lick of English. So she's got that going for her. The problem with her is that she's a comedy wrestler, and I don't feel like MLW is the venue for, like, she should be on DDT shows or working with like total freaks like Antonio Honda. That's where, what she's good at is really shown off, as opposed to like MLW kind of doing that shorthand of like, well, we brought these women in from Japan. That's how you know it's the good women's wrestling. The
Yeah,
kind of shit that like
this is the battle of the Japanese idols, is how they pushed it. And it's just MLW, so it's like we might never see them again, and I think that's kind of funny sometimes.
Yeah, but it's like if they brought in like Dan Shokudino and just had him like wrestle Ikuro Kwan as like a normal match. It's just kind of like, well, why bother?
The next match is Kushida versus Diego Hill. I think in 2025, Diego Hill better than Kushida.
Hot take.
I don't know how we're feeling about that. Kushida, I guess he is like really old, but he just moves so slow in all of his little bullshit that it takes me out of it. It was fine. Afterwards they do this thing where Diego Hill gets an MLW contract, which I'm like, what a big deal. And then the next match, I was really excited for Ultimo Guerrero versus Alex Hammerstone, and they steal that from me by throwing in Matthew Justice and making it a triple threat for the MLW National Openweight title. I'm a freak, so I still thought this was the best match on the show. But I just kept thinking it'd be so much better if it was just Ultimo Guerrero versus Alex Hammerstone. And then we get the big MJF in MLW run in. Mystico comes out, MJF attacks him. It was cool. I mean, the good little short promo, crowd was hot for it. It's one of those things that's weird where it's just like it gets MLW a lot of attention, but they're like we have all this attention. Make sure bring all the people in so they can watch that, and then watch Matt Riddle versus Kenta.
Let me tell you the first line of this review on Cage Match.
Uh-oh.
OMG, the exhumed corpse of a guy who used to be one of my favorite wrestlers. Goddamn Kenta is an old 44, jobbing 100% clean to some barely trained former UFC clown. There you go.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like it's funny. It's two guys that I think are thought of as like at their heyday of being like real snug, but like now they just don't care. So it's just the loosest strikes you've ever seen. It's 17 minutes, but they're only wrestling like I don't know 11 of those minutes. There's so much bullshit. There's so much like we don't want to actually wrestle. We don't want to get tired. We don't want to hurt each other.
I do like
Yeah.
the idea of calling Matt Riddle barely trained.
Well, of
Like,
all the things that are wrong with him, is
Matt
that one
Riddle
of
of
them?
all people. It's like, they kept him on the WWE kept him on the indies for like 2 years specifically to train him. I don't know. It's a far cry from like if you said that about like any of the deathmatch shit I've been watching, where that is barely trained.
I don't want to sound like I'm completely down on this. I did like the three-way. I did forget to mention there was a Paul Walter Hauser backstage segment with Paul London. They're really pushing this Paul London can't beat Neon thing. I kind of want that to be over so we can get back to some Paul London and Paul Walter Hauser stuff. Paul Walter Hauser wants to go for the tag titles, and I hope we get there.
I get calling Matt Riddle barely trained when his issue is that he got trained specifically by WWE, and it made him a bad wrestler.
Yeah, like he was better with less training.
Yeah.
So much better. But yeah, MLW, and then the other stuff I watched 3 matches from West Coast Pro for the love of the game.
Can I ask one MLW
yeah.
question before we get
Yeah,
into
of course.
West Coast? So, who are the beasts in this? It's the Summer of the Beasts.
Yeah.
To whom does that refer?
Think
Fans.
I was gonna say I think we are the beasts because we're devouring all this MLW content. It's the only thing I can think.
Okay, so my headphones dropped out and I missed your entire answer. I was just about to say, like, your silence speaks volumes, Dan.
No, you're the beast. We're all the beast. All of us that are the
Oh,
fans.
good.
And it's our summer. Finally, it's our summer.
It's a what they call a wrestling fan summer. There was hot girl summer, there was white boy summer. Now it's wrestling fan summer.
There are a bunch of 10-year-old, 8 to 10-year-old cheerleaders spend the night here tonight, and they were like, I'm like, hey guys, I need like 2 hours by myself. I'm doing a podcast. Like, you're doing a podcast? That's so cool. I'm like, what's it about? And then my niece goes, pro wrestling, and they go, oh, okay. They had no more questions. Conversation was over.
I love the idea that someone's like, you're doing a podcast? That fucking whips.
I mean, it's when you're 10. Apparently, that sounds like a cool thing to
Yeah,
do.
I mean, when you're 10, basically anything adults do is cool. Anything
Yeah.
that you can't do as a 10-year-old.
They could do this.
Oh, they would do so much of a better job. They would be so much more entertaining than us.
Speaking of entertaining, I like 2 of these 3 matches. I watched Adam Priest versus Starboy Charlie, Mad Dog Connolly versus Jaya Jewel, and Brett the Threat versus Timothy Thatcher. Brett the Threat versus Timothy Thatcher is the best of the bunch. It's awesome. I've been liking Brett the Threat, and I thought he looked great in this. And I think Timothy Thatcher is one of the best wrestlers this year. Still, I don't think anyone's really not many people are really watching it, and a lot of the shit is against like not great people. But Brett the Threat really holds his own. He goes for a lot of like takedowns and stuff, and once he gets to the ground, like Thatcher just takes over, and just Thatcher being Thatcher, tying him up in little pretzels and stiff strikes, and there's a fun finish. I just thought this is something. It's on YouTube. People should definitely check it out. It's for the West Coast Pro Golden Gate title. And then I also liked. This is like the part of the show where someone goes, "Mad Dog Connolly, pretty good at wrestling." Him versus Jai Jewel. It was really cool. I mean, Mad Dog just beat the piss out of him. The only down part about this is that like the match and the aftermatch are building to a big Mad Dog Connolly versus Vinny Massaro match. So, unfortunate that's where we're headed, but that was good. And then Adam Priest versus Starboy Charlie, I did not enjoy. It's Adam Priest, so it's not the worst thing you're ever gonna watch, but it's 15 minutes, and it's just they do a little brawl, and it's just I don't know. I find Starboy Charlie really annoying, and especially in this, I sometimes like his stuff with when he's in a tag team, but not here. So I would not recommend this, but I definitely recommend the other two matches. And then one more match I want to talk about. I feel like for years I've been the Joshua Bishop guy, and I always try to watch Joshua Bishop matches. We're getting to the point where I might soon sell my Joshua Bishop stock. I watched Josh Bishop versus Jason Hotch, which takes place in oh shit, what is this company called? It's not on Cage Match, so I had to have it. Noble Champions Group. Yes, that's what it says. Noble Champions
Oh,
Group.
yeah, NCG.
And yeah, you're a big fan, right? This is the show. They're out of Ontario. This is the show where they brought in Al Snow. You got to bring him anytime you can.
Big star.
And I just think that maybe Joshua Bishop will never ever wrestle for a company that's any good. So that's going to really limit his upward trajectory. So yeah, don't go out of your way to watch Jason Hotch versus Joshua Bishop. It's kind of like an angle for this shitty promotion I have no interest in. So yeah, in conclusion, watch Thatcher versus Breath of Threat.
Sure, Dan. Whatever you say. I'm sure I'll do that.
You're not going to watch anything from 2025 until December and January.
That's not true. That's not true.
Well, prove me wrong. What you watch this week?
Everything I watched this week was from 2025.
Oh shit! That's like the one week I could have called you out, and that happened.
So embarrassing. I haven't watched a Timothy Thatcher match.
Oh my god, I'm really fucking stepping in it right now.
Yeah, you fucking idiot. You fucking
Oh my
moron.
god, I'm hanging up.
What
I'm
a
sorry, guys.
dumbass.
I'll see you guys next week.
All right, we know who's going in the Hall of Shame.
Boom. Yeah. Look who wasn't nominated. Dan. I watched Timothy Thatcher versus Travis Williams.
That match fucking rules.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. I like Travis Williams. I don't love him. He's okay here. I don't think he's a grappler's grappler. But he's alright. He's alright. I love Timothy Thatcher's carnival pants, though. That will make me come to the yard every single time. Every single time. Mark Briscoe versus Ricochet. Decided to give that a whirl. The stretcher match, outstanding. Incredible.
Great fucking match. That is.
I feel like I was like, did I actually like Ricochet? Or like, was I smart for liking Ricochet? Hey, smart's not the right word, but was I justified? And then I watched this and I was like, oh yes, this is very classic PWG Ricochet. Just the right amount of cocky, and also he can apparently still do the shit that he used to do. And I was like, I don't know. Maybe I just haven't been watching Ricochet enough for the past 5 years to come to any conclusions. But he is not just flying around, but flying around and taking the nutty bumps with it. And that's what I'm here for.
And
Mark, pretty good.
And it's all like it's very well thought up out between the high spots too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's what's like. It's more like Ricochet in the last 9 months.
Okay.
Like even the start of the AEW run, like is kind of whatever. But like once he turns heel, he's cooking. Ricochet is going to be very high on my VP 100.
Who knows where it could rank? No clear front runners. Maybe this is his year. It's not his year. If anyone wins, the other person's in this match. Because Mark is having a humdinger here.
Yeah, he's fucking incredible.
He
Like
looks
even
insane during this match.
like lesser matches than this, he's just like he's like the most guaranteed quality match guy in the world right now. And I mean, he's been that for 25 years, but now he's got a national stage where he's doing it every week.
Yeah. And to think that like that very easily could not have happened. Like it was
That's what I
not
was just thinking. This all feels like bonus Mark Briscoe.
Yeah,
And
they
it's some of
could
the best in the world.
They could have like after Jay passed, like they could have given him like a couple matches, like, and then sent him off to the Ring of Honor zone, where he would still be good, but like no one would ever watch him.
Or he could have even decided to not wrestle him. Like no one would have ever gave him
no one would
like,
have blamed him.
Excited him about that. I can't,
But like, yeah, he's just like one of the things that has been awesome about AEW this year is that Tony remembers that he just has all of these like guys who can have good matches every week. Like this, like for like a full year, if not longer, AR Fox was just like signed and just like doing fucking nothing. And now like he's still just like an elevate because he's a, what, 36, 37. So he's not going to be like massively pushed, but it's just like, oh yeah, we should probably just put AR Fox in matches in tags and whatever because he's just good and he's going to like make the TV matches better just by being there. And you have 100%. Like a bunch of those guys in AEW, like Mark Briscoe, AR Fox, Roddy, who are there week in, week out, and like whether you're into the stories or not, it's just like there's good fucking wrestling happening.
Yeah, there's so many good wrestlers in AEW right now, and it feels like they're actually using them in across the shows. So everything is pretty good right now. Go listen to the AEW podcast on Divine Peel Radio Network.
Dig Deep.
As Dig Deep is giving you the goodness. The goodness. I decided to watch the first Road to New Beginnings show from January. Why? Because I wanted to watch Goto versus Zach from New Beginnings, which I had never watched. And I was like, well, maybe I should get a lay of the land here and just kind of see if there's anything that kind of stands out that I've been missing. And the answer is no. No, not really. Not a lot of net promotion that I'm sinking my teeth into.
You didn't like Goto to Zach?
I like it. I like Goto versus Zach. I think it's a really good match. I don't love it. I feel like I've never been like a Goto guy or had any particular affinity to him as a wrestler. I feel like you need something with Goto to elevate it to what people are calling like a match of the year. I'm like, I'm not there, folks. I am maybe just an emotionless husk of a human, and
I would say that.
Yeah.
You actually were saying that before we got on the call, right, Chris?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway,
that's why his dog bit him, because he could sense it.
He didn't bite me. He scratched me. That was cut his
Well,
nails.
Sorry, I mean, I didn't mean to spoil what's coming next for you. I'm sorry.
Anywho, what else did I watch? I watched I don't know if these are the only two, but these are the only two that I saw from this year. Cerebro Negro versus Cabarello de Plata matches. First one from January, which is a fun enough little brawl. And then the second is dog collar match that shows up in the newly posted Lucha Roundup.
I watched that too, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to step on the Lucha Roundup talk. That match fucking rules.
Yeah,
That
that
match
match
fucking
is
rules.
awesome. I believe I actually talked about it a few weeks ago. But yeah, that is one of the featured matches because it's fucking sick. And
It's
like,
amazing.
Like I mentioned, it's like probably it might not be 10 minutes until Cerebro Negro has the chain around his neck. But it's a really long time, and he's really milking it. And every time the ref comes up and tries to put it on him, and he just fucking tosses him aside, it's awesome. It gets me
The
every
refs-
time.
The ref's a big part of that because I've seen a lot of dog collar and chain matches where they don't put it on. And a lot of times refs just kind of give up. This ref is like, no, I want that on you.
Yeah, he's doing his job. He's a professional. Come hell or high water. And so like it makes it a big deal, and it makes it a big spot when Caballero de Plata finally like stops getting fucking destroyed and stops Cerebro Negro for a minute and like gets him down, and the ref can put the chain across it around his neck, and like it's a great match. And like I mentioned, like I'm not a huge huge fan of chain and strap matches where the finish is you have to like tap the ring posts, but it doesn't fucking matter.
I would go out and say like they did some fun stuff with that. I thought that was one of the more interesting ways they could do the 4 corner tap sequences. This match rocks. It's super cool. Plata's got a weird charisma for me. Like, I don't think he hits as hard as literally anyone. He doesn't take a lot of big bumps, but something about the way he goes about his business, the way he grimaces, the way he does shit, the way he does a spear, rocks my world during these matches. So that's what I watched this week. Chris, what have you watched this week?
I watched a hell of a lot of Lucha, so I could get that Lucha Roundup posted today. And it is up, and it is there, and you can enjoy it right now. And the matches I liked are featured, and the matches I did not like are not. And there were a lot of matches I did not like that I sat through for to get to those good to great matches. Because I sacrificed for you, the people.
And we appreciate it. Or at least I appreciate it. I don't know about Dan Pat here, but who's to
I
say?
was thinking when I was reading it this morning, I was thinking, you should do a part where you call out like what was the worst match because you're punishing yourself watching all this stuff. You should at least dunk on whatever match makes you think like, even by the standards of someone watching indie lucha on YouTube, I feel like my time was wasted.
I mean, it's gotta be one of the matches with like Daga in it. Like I watched several like Daga singles matches.
Yeah, see, we as a website, we do need more dunking on Daga.
There's a really bad trios match I watched. Like it's got La Hiedra, Jesse Ventura, La Brava, Macabre.
So all the in-ring, like, bell-to-bell greats.
Yeah,
The generational grapplers, like the Timothy Thatchers of Mexico.
yeah, and that match goes like a really long time. I think the video is like 17 minutes, so the match is probably like 14, and it feels like an hour. I don't know if like anything actually happens in it. It's really fucking bad. Like that is probably even considering like 20-minute Daga singles matches, that's probably the one that I was just like, what am I doing with my life?
Well, you are making great entertainment for all the lovely people who read this website, even if it means occasionally watching a Jesse Ventura match.
Yeah, and I mean, I saw a lot of good shit. Like even subjecting myself to like extra stuff that I knew was bad, I was still like checking enough cards that I maybe would have skipped where I saw some like good shit. That made it worth it. Like I really enjoy that Arrow Boy versus Osiris match I talked about. I mean, I watched two of Black Terry's last matches ever. Which like watching it now a few months after he passed is just like emotional. Just because like in less than 2 months after he has these matches, he's just gone. There was a match with like Arez and Toxine versus Noisy Boy and Spiderfly that I didn't like highlight, that I had a ton of fun with. One of the reasons I didn't highlight it was because like after I had written 99% of the post, I realized there was an IWRG show I somehow missed, and that was on it.
That was me with finding out someone had uploaded a fan cam of the entire XPW Wicked 13. I was just like, okay, well, everything I've written for the death panel no longer matters because this is now like the focus piece of whatever gets put up.
Tube. Where do I see this fan cam?
I mean,
I'll send a link 1 second.
Okay, all right.
I watched a great match that featured Brazo Celestial. Because while Brazo Celestial is very technically in that match, the camera of the fan that is recording it is spending the entire time recording Mascara Sagrada and Fishman and not paying any attention to Brazo Celestial and Viano 5.
Kind of sucked to be Viano 5 Jr. and be like, well, okay, I can't, my main dude that I had all those matches with is off being La Parca now, so, meanwhile, I'm still me.
It's still Viano.
I guess.
Pat, what did you watch this week?
So I watched a bunch of deathmatch stuff for the thing. You know what I'm talking about.
The death panel.
The famous thing that we all know and love, the death panel. I watched a bunch of deathmatch stuff. I also found a YouTube channel. Did you guys watch any of the links I posted to Steve Sanders?
I was scared. I
clicked on the channel, but I did not watch it.
It's so good. You gotta watch. It's just a dude sitting in a chair explaining old wrestling angles in a way that suggests that he has done, like, it's not like he's reading off of cue cards or anything. He's just sitting there freestyling for 7 minutes about like the Val Venus getting his cock cut off angle from Raw in like 1998. Like
Good stuff.
it's amazing stuff. He just I watched a video of his about Orlando Jordan that was titled "The Wrestler That Humped People," which, accurate.
Say like
It's-
Mosh's singles career is 7 minutes long.
Yeah,
Now
it's
for
it's
three,
like-
he only needs 3 more minutes to cover the history of Lucha de Apuestas or wager matches.
yes, and that video is awesome. That is a must watch. If you want to learn about a complete and accurate history of Lucha Libre Apuestas matches, definitely watch this dude sitting in a chair sounding even more confused and inarticulate than I am right now. It is perfect YouTube content. I have no idea how the algorithm knew I needed this, but I do. This guy's my new Dave Meltzer. He's my new Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez. He's taken over both spots of the top two. It's good shit. You got to watch that. I also just in the mail today, I got my copy of Way of the Blade AEW edition. So I was flipping through that a little bit before we started recording.
Shout out to Phil.
Let me tell you, the illustrations rendered in loving black and white, a lot of them, the blood that they drew with like a half-tone, zip-a-tone type pattern on it, it just makes it look like the wrestlers are covered in mud. And somehow that makes the illustrations better. Like, if you just imagine that, like, what was it, the fucking AEW Lights Out match was, for some reason, an unsanctioned mud wrestling match.
I mean, AEW is the biggest outlaw mud show in the world.
Absolutely. But yeah, I have not watched, other than the stuff I've been doing, for that, I got to finish watching the XPW Wicked 13. I am psyched to finish it. But yeah, I haven't watched a ton of wrestling. It's been a very busy week. I have not been on top of my game. I hope you
No.
all forgive me.
I will attempt to. I
Thank
think
you.
we will make it out okay.
I'm trying.
I hope.
Need more time.
Anyway, that's all we've been watching here for this week. Let's talk about what's going on the site. As we've already discussed, the Roundup just posted. Go check that out on violentpeople.co. Then Death Panel comes out next week, ideally. And then Dan, you got anything in the oven?
On Monday, there's going to be another untitled Gram Zaza project.
Potential Hall of Famer?
Read to the end. I break some news.
Kamsaza versus Daniel Makabe.
Oh no! Oh shit! I wish I didn't lie all the time. I break some real news.
Oh, damn. I wish I didn't lie all the time. Classic Dan.
What are you gonna do though? What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Anyway, it's time to talk about the Violent People Hall of Fame. Last week's episode, we nominated 20 wrestlers. This week we're
20
gonna go
wrestling figures.
Ah, yes, true. 20 wrestling figures.
Wait. Sorry, they
Thank you.
changed the order of my soundboard for some reason.
Shit. Last time we did the Hall of Fame, we decided to mix it up because John Cena broke us. We said 60%. You need 60% of the votes to get in. Well, we got 27 people that voted. And if we did it that way, we would have 3 entrants into the Hall of Fame. Would we like to do the 60% threshold or the top half?
I think we kind of have to stick with our guns.
We have to
Gotta
stick
stick
with
with
our
our
guns.
guns.
I think top half.
Oh my
is
god, I'm
both
looking at these
and
results. I am so mad.
And there's like a
This
tie.
is bullshit.
There's a multi-way tie,
That went right in the middle
which
of that.
would put like more than half into the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, because oh my god.
I would have went in the opposite direction. I would have said they did make the cutoff.
Oh, okay.
But or I would have done random number generator and let God decide which of those 4 were gonna make it. Anyway,
This is my fault.
do we want to start from the very people that absolute dog shit as far as voter participation is concerned? And then we'll work our way up to our entrance. Oh, perfect. Oh, perfect.
Let's do it. I have not spoiled myself. I haven't looked at any of this stuff, so
I did until
out.
45 seconds ago.
Pat, are
You
you,
know
there
what?
now?
I'm in there right now, clicking around, trying to change some results.
I am not in the
Perfect.
document. I'm not doing anything. That's
Amazing.
all Dan.
Good. So
7.69% of the votes.
Yeah, with 7.69% of the votes receiving, that is a whopping 2 votes per person. Dan's man, Grom Zaza, and Pat, it's Antonio Pena.
The man that Pat spoke most glowingly about. These people.
The most
The
honest
only
about.
person I nominated who actually deserves to be in every wrestling.
What he didn't vote in
the guy who fucking invented La Parka.
Just an incredible showing here by our voters and by us, honestly.
Grom Zaza's not coming out on fucking Monday now. You pieces of shit don't deserve it.
What this
my
tells me is
God.
that you did not write.
I know I should have been
Zaza.
writing him as often as I
enough.
thought I would, and then he would have been in the Hall of
Well,
Fame.
no,
It's all my
I-
fault.
what
Hey,
I'm saying
buddy,
is
you
didn't
didn't
make
even
them-
nominate him. That was
That's
me.
true. That is true.
All right. You know what? Probably not strong contenders to get brought back onto our ballots in the immediate future. We'll see what happens.
I'm fucking putting Pena on every single time he is eligible now. Fuck you, stupid.
I was just thinking, no, the second Grom's available, I'm putting him in.
Fucking stupid ass.
Next up, not tie with nobody.
This podcast is going to keep going until he gets in.
That's how it works. You just filibuster until you get the votes you need.
I'll just keep calling you guys every fucking week, even if you don't want to do it anymore. I'm like, we gotta wait till Grom gets in.
Who were the Pena voters?
I don't know who either of these people are.
Jonas.
And
Jonas, can't read. And then Marino Wrestling.
Oh yeah, he's been in the Discord. All right, you two guys, you're great. I love you. Everyone else, eat shit.
I love it. Anyway, next up with 3 votes, 11.54%, it's Buzz Sawyer. What a bummer. I guess I did not expect much from our voters, but sad nonetheless. Let's move in with another tie, 15.38%. The man, the myth, the legend, Kevin Sullivan, and the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. Killing a family gets you nothing, nor does being a true legend of our sport.
Should we wait until after the Smashing Machine comes out? Or wait, I don't know what they're calling the Mark Kerr movie, but whatever.
Oh, you got it right.
Okay. Maybe that would have helped. Give him a little bump.
We got time. We'll circle back on that one. When does that come out?
This
End
year.
of this year.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Either
Won't be
November
eligible.
or December.
Damn. Looks good. I'm excited. Anyway, tied at 5, 19.23% of the vote. Two folks that I was pairing together in my head the entire time we were talking. Rob Black and Jeffrey Cannonball.
You heard that,
The
folks.
two men who are more alike than unalike.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's crazy he didn't get in, but whatever.
Dan, any parting words for Jeff Cannonball?
I think recently Joey Janela tweeted that he's going to put on the greatest independent show in the history of wrestling for him, and then that was him announcing Wheeler Yuta. So make of that what you will, you know what I mean?
I think he's right.
I need to see what's in this card. I need to see what they're cooking for.
I mean, there are a lot of like good wrestlers on that card.
Oh,
And I
alright.
mean, you know, we can't count Joey Janela out as a promoter. I mean, he did Spring Break. He fucking killed Sabu. Like, he's got good ideas.
Got the biggest brain over there. Got the biggest brain. Any parting words for Rob Black, Pat?
Again, you people are animals. I was at work for 12 fucking hours today, and I did not need this shit. I mean, like, you guys had all week to fucking smarten up and vote for people who are cool, like Antonio Pena and Rob Black, and instead you probably voted for fucking Roosh, who I nominated as a joke. So, in conclusion, fucking, I don't know, get AIDS. I don't know. I think
Chris,
that's
I
what
got-
Rob Black was.
Chris,
Rob
I got to
Black
tell you,
would say
this Cannonball Fest show is just a JCW show with Willow Nightingale and Speedball. MJF's not even wrestling.
Oh, you
Still
kidding
good.
me?
They're still good wrestlers.
You kidding me?
Yeah, I mean they're
Jeff
fine.
Cannonball
I mean, I
wrestling.
just who? No, I don't believe so.
Can you wrestle in this condition? Anyway, Rob Black, a true legend in this business, because without
In
him,
multiple business.
well, no, actually, just one. The other one, he's lower than scum. But in wrestling, one of the greats. One of the greats. XPW, that free leech pack, incredible for my ratio on Extreme Wrestling Torrents. So, gotta respect that. Gotta respect that.
If Janela was not a coward, he would book. MJF would in fact wrestle, and he would wrestle Tremont.
I thought you were gonna say Rob Black.
Yeah, I was gonna say he would book Jeff Cannonball versus Rob Black.
Yeah,
I mean that
You know
too.
what? let's do it. Let's do it. Next up, 8 votes, 30.77%. We're seeing a jump here. Vampiro.
All right, you guys at least got, on the road to something correct.
Still less than half the amount of votes he would need.
I know. Saul got really excited seeing Vampiro on the list. Probably not enough time for him to write a comprehensive Vampiro tribute, like he did with Ogawa. But
I mean, he still should.
He still should, because I would read the hell out of that.
Exactly.
He's gonna be eligible again in a year. So
Time's
Get
ticking,
ready.
Saul.
how long did it take him to write the Ogawa piece?
Enough time.
Enough. All right. Next up, we got a 4-way tie with 42.31% of ballots. A great collection of talent here. We got Super Porky, Nick Gage, Chris Hero, and the one and only David Meltzer.
4 of a kind.
Honestly, the one I'm most surprised, like, tied with the rest is Super Porky. Because
He did
while
better
I
than I
think
thought.
he is the best of the 4 here, and I love Nick Gage, and I love Dave, and I love like Chris here, whatever. Super Porky, he's the best. He's the best.
Doesn't seem like you love Chris
It
Hero.
is.
At one point,
It's not
Chris
bad
Hero
leaving
was.
us off.
I have a soft spot
Yeah.
for him still. He was at one point my favorite wrestler.
Chris Hero
got
is
soft spot too in his
for
gut.
Super Porky.
But like because Super Porky, I guess he's not the worst performing lucha person here, but like he was a guy that when he got nominated, like that's a good pick. But like, do the kids know? The kids don't know about Super Porky. Kids don't know about Super Porky.
Yeah, they're too busy watching fucking Grom Zaza matches or some shit.
Kids love Grom.
That's right.
I
He's got 2
would-
votes.
I would genuinely put Super Porky in like top 5 most charismatic wrestlers ever.
The new generation doesn't vote, Sam.
Like if
Yeah.
we
Not
had,
happening.
if we did vote, Super Porky is one of my 9. Easy. He's one of the first people I click on this list.
I think we should vote next time, and our votes count twice as much as everyone else's.
I think that was my very first recommendation after John Cena got in. I was like, maybe each of us get 7 votes.
We can really tip the scales. Oh man!
Especially because we're not doing like the punishment and reward type thing anymore. I think we should be allowed to vote.
It's very fair. I do appreciate not having punishments attached to this.
I would like. I don't think I would have even voted all 5 of my guys. Even.
I know I
Wow.
wouldn't have.
I mean,
right.
Dave, one of my guys. He's definitely on the ballot, but who knows? Like everyone else, fuck Ram Zaza.
The thing is, if we had run this poll in Japan, Dave Meltzer would have gotten like double the votes. He would have gotten like 70%.
Yeah, either Japan or Reseda, California.
We should do more polling in Reseda, California. We should work with the local infrastructure.
Now, the next 5 people are the people that would have gotten in if we were cowards. If we would have changed the metrics.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Tie with 50% of ballots. Very funny, actually. Now that you think, I think.
Yeah, actually,
they
very
share
funny.
something else too. They share a couple things.
Don't. Chris Benoit and Roosh.
We
What
play
kind
the
of a
theme music
twisted
right now?
mind? What kind of a twisted mind comes out to that music? Speaking of Dave Meltzer, what kind of twisted mind?
Very funny to have them pair up.
And then he was like, well, maybe I'll ease back. I'll use Black Skinhead by Kanye West.
There we go.
Thank you, Dan.
That riff is seared into my brain thanks to like SmackDown 2 Know Your Role.
I mean, it's
Like-
sick. It's a sick song.
It's good.
It's
It's good.
It is. But it's like specifically like there's so many 2000 era WWF theme songs where it's like the first 5 seconds that are used in the video game entrance video are like locked into my head now.
Like, I could not give a shit about Our Lady Peace, but that song is awesome.
Would you say that you're rather whatever about them?
Yeah, I would say.
All right. These are the final 3 cuts. Final 3 cuts with 53.85 of ballots.
But before we get into that, it's completely fucked up that more people voted for fucking Roosh than Super Pokey. I'm so angry I can't talk. More people voted for Roosh than either Super Porky or the guy who created AAA. Fucking insane. Like,
We got some real historians voting on this
you
thing.
fucking goddamn Zoomers.
We'll have an age limit next time.
We
Can't
are,
vote for
yeah, you
anyone.
have to be at least 39 to vote next time.
Damn it! I guess you
Uh,
guys have fun.
Dan, are you 39?
I'm 37.
I think I'm the only 39-year-old here.
Yeah.
You're getting there, dude. You're getting there. All right, tied with 14 ballots. Kana, Giant Baba, Abdullah the Butcher.
I noticed that it seems like on the voting form that you also called her Ozka. Seems like you were okay with it to get some votes.
I was okay with it because that's what was put into the spreadsheet when we were selecting wrestlers.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I didn't put it in there.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, okay. I knew it was someone with a good head on their
Chris was
shoulders.
taking some liberties with what I was saying. A little bit of, honestly, it's a misrepresentation, mischaracterizations.
Yeah,
think she
do
would've
not
won?
do not consider half of her career, please.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, don't consider the WWE stuff.
Who fucking cares about the World Wrestling Federation? Am I right, brother?
Vote on her based solely on her versus Minoru Suzuki, where he goes to give her the Gotch style pile driver and then just like grinds his elbow into her pussy for like what feels like 30 of the most embarrassing seconds in wrestling history.
God.
I guess it would be his forearm, not his elbow. Sorry, I don't mean to mischaracterize the weirdly sexual.
I thank you.
Tender
Thank
match
you.
that they had.
I cannot believe Abby can't get in. That sucks. I very much can believe Giant Baba doesn't get in.
Yeah, Abby felt like a little like a layup when I was like, oh, he's going in.
Gotta. Why wouldn't he? Who's not voting for him? Well, I know who didn't vote for him. I'm coming to your house. I'm knocking
It was weird you had them put their address in, but you did, so.
Good thing. Tim,
I think we've
I'm
got a
coming
lot
for
of
your ass.
we've got a lot of body guys voting this time around.
All right. There is two people that did kind of fuck everything up for everyone. If I'm being honest. I didn't remove their votes, but they did do some shady shit. And that's, I don't know who this is. Not saying that.
Oh my god,
anyone did
that's
anyone
suspicious
nefarious.
as hell.
Anything
That really
nefarious.
isn't me.
But Dan,
Someone named Dan.
no last name. No last name.
They voted for just two of my picks.
Just two of your picks. That's weird. After you just said, I wouldn't have voted for all five of mine. It's correct, because you voted for two.
I thought that I would have changed my name at least, or maybe capitalized it.
And then Omni Blankhead, don't know who that is, voted for one person. So those two people alone made this very difficult. Very difficult. But them's the breaks.
Did Rob Black ever vote? I tweeted at him asking him to vote. Did we get any Rob Black votes?
I guess he could have used the pseudonym.
Maybe he's Dan.
Probably.
All right. Sorry, folks. I did just run the numbers because I was like, man, if those people didn't vote, what could have happened?
I don't think it changes
Absolutely
anything.
nothing. It doesn't change a fucking thing. Incredible.
What if you take out Dan, Omni Blackhead, and Tim? That changes some stuff.
Why are we taking out Tim?
Just because, you know what I mean?
Oh, all right. No. You got me there.
I'm
You
with
got
Dan
me
on this
there.
one.
I do believe Rob Black did vote. I think he used the pseudonym Cole.
Yeah,
That makes a lot of
that's
sense
him.
too, because Cole rhymes with hole, and we know Rob Black's a fan of those.
Well, they voted for Benoit, Rob Black. They wrote in here, "I'm gonna finish watching the Best of the Super Juniors." I don't even know how they did that.
Crazy.
Pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Anyway, without further ado, we announce our 3 new entrants to the Violent People Hall of Fame, the prestigious Violent People Hall of Fame. With 20 ballots, 76.92% of the vote. Eddie Kingston and Dean. Dean, someone that could not manage to get more than a small number of votes the first time he was out.
Do you
And
think we tricked
likewise,
people into thinking that they were voting for the show?
Well, did the first vote happen before or after Dean won?
It happened after Dean won.
That's crazy. So maybe we got the Dean bump, but
To be fair, that that first ballot was pretty stacked.
yeah, that's true.
Like Dean, like I don't think Dean would have been too mad of not getting in when like Ishikawa and like Terry
You're
Funk
saying-
were getting in.
you're saying Ishikawa and Rob Black, not exactly on the same level.
Not
Which
exactly.
would
No.
apply.
Yeah, Rob Black is way more
Interesting.
important to wrestling.
True. No one's debating that. No one's debating that. And the top vote getter, 21 ballots, 80.77% of the ballots. Black Terry.
All he
Getting
needed
the old
to do
death
was-
bump.
Yeah, all he needed to do was die.
It
Apparently.
almost makes it worth it, is what people are saying, which I think is terrible.
I mean, I did say if Black Terry was not making it, we were ending the site.
So I'm pretty glad
But
about it.
also, like, if I don't think several people voted before even listening to the podcast, if they listened to at all. So either way, it's fine. It's fine. That's my guy. One of the goats, the fucking legend. I'm very happy he was the number one like vote getter. Shout out to Black fucking Terry.
That's 2 returning people of the 3.
And like
Black
I do
Terry was
think
second to last the first time we did this.
That's crazy.
there's got to be like people in the like Discord and stuff who like they just simply weren't around like during the peak Black Terry IWRG stuff and like the crazy like lucha memes and like all those indie matches, and like after he passed they saw that and they were like, oh shit, this guy is fucking incredible. And
Kids
he
got
is.
something right.
Is there? I'm looking on YouTube right now, seeing if I can find any Black Terry versus Super Porky.
I mean, if it happened,
I'm sure they were in like multi-man matches together and stuff.
but like that would have happened in the era when none of Black Terry matches were making tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
so
got an
Dean-
IWRG match from 2009. Brazo de Plata, Chico Che, and Mike Segura versus Pirata Morgan, Toxico, and Black Terry.
Ooh.
32 minutes.
Ooh, I want to watch that.
I will send the link.
Ooh,
Putting
that's
it
a
in the
lot
old
of
wrestling channel and saying Everyone watch this. I have a gun. This is not a joke.
I don't
Okay.
I don't know if we should post that on the internet. Yeah, I
No,
do. Yeah, I do.
it's already done.
Okay. That's real. Not much you can do about that. Dean. Any Death Valley driver video reviews.
I used to love Death Valley Driver video review. Definitely don't go back and read some of the stuff that would get Dean canceled now.
Oh, the angriest I've ever been in the Discord is when people were fucking discussing some of his writing.
Yeah, I mean, I remember he had one review where he went into dicey territory about, I think, Latina MILFs. Which, I mean, honestly,
Welcome
if
to
you're not into Latina MILFs, like, fuck off. Again, like, I'm sorry that I'm so
You're
tired
always
that all I
saying
can do
that.
is tell the listeners to go fuck themselves. But again, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I don't know what dicey territory is there with Latina MILFs, but I'll take your word for it, I guess. But yeah, I will never forget Logan asking, "Who's that?" Pointing to a
We
picture
should
of
have told
Dean.
him it was Dean Douglas.
Yeah. Okay. That would have been good. Ugh. All right.
Imagine putting Shane Douglas in a Hall of Fame, but just for Dean Douglas.
Man. And we haven't talked about anything about Eddie Kingston,
Yeah, he's
who
fine.
is the
It's
most
all right.
pandering of the nominees, I think.
And you knew you came from me.
Yeah. Always like to play to the crowd, Dan.
Yeah,
Always
love
like
it.
to play to the crowd.
They like Eddie Kingston and they like how I talk about women. Those are the two
But
things.
of like the pander picks of like that era of the Indies, I think Eddie fits like
You're saying
more
Ed,
than
than Chris Hero.
Yeah, I don't dispute Eddie Kingston going into a violent people hall. I mean, this AEW Way of the Blade book I'm looking at, the cover is Eddie Kingston covered in blood holding a gas can, which, if you have to name an iconic wrestling image of the last 10 years, I'd go with that. And that time Ella Park showed up in Arena Mexico wearing a t-shirt 3 times, like 3.
Eddie Kingston is I feel like similarly that I do about Mark Briscoe, where it's like I was preparing myself for Eddie Kingston never to wrestle again, so it all feels like bonus Eddie Kingston now, and he just keep improving his case.
yeah, I mean probably back soon.
You hope so. You hope so.
It's been over a year.
All right, folks. Are we ready to dive into Q&AR?
Always.
Oh, you did something fancy there.
Sorry, didn't mean to throw you off there.
I tried to like move my mouse. I was like, I'm already clicking it.
I think it went really well. Not. Anyway, it's time for Q&AR. First up, Eamon with, do you guys know where I left my Best of the Dangerous Alliance Blu-ray? I've looked all around my house. Can't find it. Under your mattress.
I would say under the couch.
It's
Your
in
mattress.
your other pants pockets. The other ones.
Ooh. Pat, where's she look? Perfect.
I don't have anything funny. I'm
All right.
sorry. I'm striking out on that one. Pass.
Ducky, because of Flip Gordon, who are the best flat earthers? I don't know any. So, next.
AJ Styles.
No, I think AJ made jokes about it, but like of his opinions, he was just like, no, I don't actually believe this.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, of course he would tell us that. You know, he'd be like, "I fooled the marks again. Now to continue believing in flat Earth."
True. My answer is the rapper B.O.B.
Dan, you got anything for me?
I tried to Google it, and there's like a list where it's a lot of wrestlers who you think believe are in the flat Earth, but don't. So I guess it's just probably Chris Jericho.
Cool. Good for you.
Do any wrestlers believe in the Hollow Earth?
Yes. Wait. Who is it? Bo Dallas.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
That makes sense.
You
I
asked that
remember.
question right after I read that Bo Dallas doesn't believe in flat Earth, but sincerely believes in the Hollow Earth theory because he was on an
You know,
episode of Talk Is Jericho.
there was a legendary comic book artist, Neil Adams, and towards the end of his life, he devoted a lot of time to telling people about his theory of the expanding Earth, which seemed like it was just Hollow Earth theory, but it made less sense. And
That's pretty cool.
wrestling needs more galaxy brains like that. More people unafraid to just go online and post the dumbest fucking shit ever.
I think I concur.
I'm also going to say, based on listening to her podcast, I nominate Soraya as Flat Earther, even if she isn't spiritually. I think she has a great kinship with them.
Truly. 100%. 100%. And Jackie Slayer, because of Necro Butcher, who are the best right-winged conspirators theorists.
In wrestling or just in general?
I guess it just in general.
I'm still going
don't
with the wrestler Bull Payne. Hell of a Facebook follow.
We got any good? What's the latest?
Facebook news for you?
Give us a taste of the Bull Payne experience.
Well, okay, Bull Payne. I thought you just meant Facebook in general, but I will tell you if you guys need the who's sleeping with who, the hot goss, the Gossip Girl stuff.
Of course.
Of course, we need that.
Shane Mercer is now with Madman Pondo's ex, Electra something.
Was that the 26-year-old he married?
Yeah,
or is
the
that
little the one. Well, there's been multiple, but yeah, she's super young. She's in her 20s. Because that's Madman's type. And Charlie, the one accusing Shane of witchcraft, says that Shane is only with her to get back at Madman Pondo. That's what's new.
Why would Shane Mercer need to get back at Madman Pondo?
She can't explain why, but she says it's true. Well, this one's not
I believe
really.
it.
Here we go. Bull Payne. I like to go swimming with bow-legged women and swim between their legs. What do you call a guy who cries while he masturbates? A tearjerker. So yeah, I guess he's kind of lately he's can't get into politics. He's kind of busy.
Those are some pretty good conspiracy theories. I'm not gonna lie.
They say during sex you burn off as many calories as running 8 miles. Who the hell runs 8 miles in 5 minutes? This guy's actually, you know what? Follow Bull Payne, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that's all I got. I mean, it's just a lot of jokes. He used to be. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Dan is no longer sticking by what he just said. He would like
he posts
to
so much that it feels
course.
like I've been scrolling, but I'm only 4 days ago, and it's like talking about how liberals support poison and doctoring kids in college.
It's a great timing for our next question from Nick Yemen. Because of Xavier Woods, are there any foods you still wouldn't eat, even if you knew they cured cancer?
Raw tomato. I just can't do it. I just can't do it.
That's crazy. Ooh, I love tomatoes.
I cannot do a raw tomato.
I'm gonna side with Chris on this one. I'm not a big fan of raw tomato. I just don't
broccoli.
I do like broccoli, so
I like broccoli.
Oof.
Yeah,
It's like foods I don't like, but there's really nothing that like makes me sick or makes me want to like throw up. I don't know.
Yeah,
the real thing is I don't have cancer. So what do I care for?
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
I would probably eat a tomato if I had cancer, but I don't know if I would eat like a raw onion if I had cancer. I might be like, all right, just let the prostate cancer kill me.
One time we were having this big cookout, and I mean like burgers, hot dogs, chicken, steak, like just like every food you can imagine. Like we have counters and tables filled with food, but somehow we forgot to buy onions for the burgers. And it's like not a big deal, right? And my brother-in-law's grandma shows up and she goes, "Oh, there's any onions?" And I forgot to buy onions. And she goes, "Never in my 70 years have I ate a burger without onions, and I'm not starting now."
All right, so and then she
I thought it
left.
was no, she didn't eat a burger. She set her plate down and got something different. She wasn't fucking around.
I fucking love
It
that.
would suck so bad if she had cancer and like missed out on the cure because she didn't eat a burger without onions.
Well, that's what it is. The cure is you got to have no onions on it.
All right.
Can someone
Tim
explain
asks,
Tim's? Yeah, I don't understand it.
because of Jimmy Valiant, what wrestlers would be the best / worst to receive a glass bottle boat ride from?
Okay, so the story, according to the Wrestling Indie Sleaze list, and I believe the Rock and Roll Express have confirmed it, though, if you believe anything the Rock and Roll Express says, that might be on you. They walked in on Jimmy Valiant underneath a glass table that a woman
I do
was
remember
taking
that.
a shit onto.
I do remember
So-
that. See, I'm a little baby and thought it meant like a real glass bottom boat ride.
No. So this is telling us where Tim is what Tim's thinking about during his off time.
Oh my god, yeah, that went right over my head. I feel like an idiot. I have heard that story.
I love how Pat was like, "Yeah, I know."
I'm
this
gonna
one."
say both the best and worst would be Mickey Knuckles. It would be some Cenobite shit.
I plead the fifth.
This next one's where they're really trying to get me. Not falling for it.
Shrimp Biscuit 420 because of Marina Shafir. Are there any women you'd hit with a lariat?
Yeah, the fucking what's her name? Bailey's super fan, the 11-year-old girl.
Is he?
Yeah, just I with all due respect to all the 10-year-old cheerleaders you have in your house stand, I would absolutely win a fight with them.
As long as they don't touch the Disney money, I'm not hitting any women.
What does Disney money mean?
That's how Necro Butcher that's
Oh,
like
yeah.
when he got in trouble for beating his wife, it's because she stole the Disney money.
Oh, so he did it for his kids, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, he never said I'm sorry I shouldn't have done it. He said she shouldn't have taken the Disney money, which I think is an interesting way to go about it.
That's like when Gwyneth Paltrow got in trouble for posting like N-words in Paris, and people were calling her out. She's like, that's the name of the song.
Well, like even if I wasn't sorry, it's like you're okay with hitting women, but you're not okay with lying about an apology for hitting women. That's a crazy moral compass.
I feel like the moral code of the necromancer is one that you can't understand without living. You can't look in from the outside. You have to. It's like a personal Bushido code.
All right. Ready to move on to the next question?
Let's do it.
No, let's talk about more women we'd attack.
None. I would attack 0 women. Dan, you
I'm going
can just answer the inverse to this question.
Here's the thing. I'm going to attack every single woman in the world with my undying respect.
There it is.
Yeah, I am attacking every woman
Also
with
a gun.
respect.
All right. Let's relax and answer our next question from Pork. What wrestling did you watch this week?
None of it.
MLW Summer of the Beast. It
All right,
starts out.
whoever's editing this episode, just take like the first 45 minutes and just place it directly.
Insert it back again. Oh, that would be fun.
He really wants to hear.
I would do it twice though. I would run it back through the entire episode, and then once we get to this point again, circle it back.
Oh, that's good. So the episode's like 4 hours.
Yeah, of course. I will not do that. So apologies for anyone that gets here and was like, "Oh, that would have been funny if you had done that." I edit this thing in about 5 minutes, and that goes on the internet for you all to listen
What do
to.
you? Well, what? Wait, what do you spend the other 4 minutes out of that 5 doing?
Clicking buttons, my internet being slow.
Okay.
That's it. That's it. All right, next question. Pork, with how great things are going in America right now, what's your plans for July 4th? Having the in-laws over for some grub.
Yeah, I'm having people over for a little cookout and then going to the fair to watch some fireworks.
Man,
I'm
I
probably
think
going to
I
be in
fucking
fucking
hate that
coma
tomorrow.
all day. I got the day off from work. It's my first day off in the past 7. I'm just gonna fucking do nothing until some kind of family dinner thing happens that I may or may not be fully awake for.
Yeah, I'm sleeping in and I'm taking it from there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Pork is aware of the cultural norms around July 4th, which is just same old, brother. Hey, Cole, in honor of the 4th of July, what is the most dangerous thing you've done with firework? I'm
So when
safe.
I was
I
a
don't
kid,
do shit.
when I was like a little kid, like I can't remember how young I was, but I was single digits, very young. Uh, Someone gave me a sparkler, and I dropped it at one point, and it set the grass on fire. And fortunately, an older kid like noticed and like stomped it out. But um, sometimes I wonder what kind of massive forest fire I could have caused if no one had done that.
I actually have so many. I've narrowed it down the 3 quick ones. One time when I was 20, I spent like a grand on fireworks. Like I bought all the fireworks. And when you're 20, that $1,000 might as well be like $50,000. And we have a great time. My friends are delivering it up. And then afterwards, on the way home, I tell my roommate, zero chance I can pay rent next week, bud. He did not
Oh,
think
yeah.
it was funny. And then one time we got caught by the cops when we were like teenagers setting them off in the woods. And I think that too, like, it's so dumb. Don't set fireworks off in the woods. And then one time, this was only like 4 years ago, maybe 5, probably 5. I was drunk setting off fireworks, and one of them wasn't working, quote unquote. So I go up to it to figure out why it's not working, and it goes off right by my head, and I don't hear on my right ear for like 3 days.
Imagine if we
Fireworks
had
fucking
done this
roll.
question with like Undertaker as the guest. Do you think he would cop to almost killing those people at WrestleMania? Was it Undertaker or Edge whose pyro went into the stands?
I don't know.
I think it was Undertaker, and like the pyro like shot into like the nosebleed seats, and, like I don't know, like killed 100 people or something.
100 people?
100 people, they died
That
at
seems a little
WrestleMania.
much. Seems a little
No,
much.
I'm pretty sure I'm being accurate with my
All
my
right.
memory of either
Well, I gotta
Undertaker
trust you.
or Edge killing people.
I just
I
looked it
gotta
up, and
trust you.
I looked it up, and it said 100 people.
Thank you.
Wow. Now I trust it.
Yeah.
No, someone did get like horribly burned by it.
And then
And
99
that's
other people also did.
Yeah, but they died of unrelated causes, like natural causes. They were just in the
Simon.
stands.
Favorite elevator experience?
When
You
it
know, I don't think I've ever been on an elevator.
That's not true.
Took
Do
me
you
to
have one?
the floor
Oh.
that my hotel room was at.
Has anyone
That's pretty
ever
cool.
has anyone ever been like, you know, you go to a hotel and you need your room key to go to the floor? Has anyone ever think you scan your room key and you press your button and then you sit there and you're kind of sitting there and then way too long goes by and you're like, "Oh, I'm not on a moving elevator right now."
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, I'm just saying it happens. That's one of my favorites. That
Favorite?
one time I met Jane Lynch.
Oh, I also met Jane Lynch on an elevator.
Well, we were in the same elevator, to be fair.
That woman's
Yeah.
fucking always riding elevators.
Yeah, it was
Fucking
it was
addicted
actually
to
the
it.
entire cast of Glee.
It's pretty,
Uh,
pretty
It-
impressive.
It's actually not one of my favorites because they were really mad when we tried to sing too. They said
Yeah, and
it's just for them.
but I mean we got the last laugh because everyone else on the elevator all died or got canceled.
Yeah, they were in the fucking stands with that one WrestleMania.
Yep.
All right. Next question from Jade. If you had to organize an Ocean's 11-esque heist with crew comprised only of wrestlers active in the year 2002, what 10 wrestlers are you trusting? This question feels too long.
Well, like when I list 10 wrestlers each right now, that seems crazy.
That seems insane. That seems all right. Next
Since
episode, maybe.
2002.
Kane.
All right, Kane times 10.
Well, yeah,
And-
Kane is obviously the political, like, wheeler dealer type.
Yeah, I mean he's George Clooney. He's the smartest guy.
Yeah. He has a power that many are unable to even conceive of, which is mayorship.
Yeah. He knows
Meanwhile,
he knows all about European economics.
He's coming to my mall, I think, next month, and I just think it's really funny. He was like, "You got anything better to do? You're the mayor."
Well, clearly being the mayor doesn't pay him enough. So he's gotta get some fucking Mark photo money.
Him and Scott Steiner as like a combo, which I don't totally understand, but it's like
Scott Steiner would also be in my Ocean's 11.
two people that had
He
great
would he
feuds with
would
Triple
be
H.
like he would be the Brad Pitt. It would be George Clooney is Kane and Brad Pitt is Scott Steiner.
Also, he's always eating.
Casey Affleck would be James Ellsworth.
Was he active
That
in
tracks.
2002?
I don't know or care.
Okay, all right.
I assume he was alive in 2002. That's, I mean, if James Ellsworth was born in 2003, then that's egg on my face. But actually, no, I'm sorry. James Ellsworth wasn't born in 2003. Just the women he DMs. No, that would make them too old now. Never mind. All right, move on.
Next question. Haven. Why don't you like the previous questions?
This one's for you.
Too long. Too long. Too much going on. Too busy.
Also, because you all fucking voted badly.
You all voted bad.
Who the fuck are you to do the dog shit responses we got to this Hall of Fame poll, and then have the nerve to ask us questions like, fucking what wrestler do you think farts the most during match? Obviously, it's Viscera, but the nerve.
Oh, Facebook
How are we
update.
going to take your
There
fucking
was
question seriously if you won't take our Hall of Fame seriously? I'm sorry, Dan. Continue.
Sorry, but there was a King Mabel versus Madman Pondo match on the Indies when Mabel left
Oh my God.
WWF, and like Mabel uses like a barbed wire bat, and there's like trash cans and shit, but there's no footage that anyone can find. But Madman posted some photos that he found. That match sounds fucking amazing.
Okay, we have a new holy. This is the Bret Hart Tom McGee of like my brain.
I'll send you the pictures when I get a chance.
God bless you. Thank you, sir.
Next up. Tim again. What's your fruit of the summer? Been into strawberries recently.
Yeah, I'll go with strawberries. I'll side with you. I don't want to think of my own fruit of the summer, so let's say strawberries.
A lot of pineapple lately. A lot of pineapple.
Good
So
pineapple's
it's a-
real good.
It's a classic summer fruit. Can't go wrong with a pineapple during the summer.
Up until a week ago, the answer was watermelon. But last week, I made apple dumplings off of a TikTok recipe, and my family's gone crazy for them, and I've had to make it 4 more times since then. We're all getting so fat. So I guess apples right now. And I got a box of peaches coming next week.
Ooh.
So peaches might be taking over.
Do you love a
for
peach?
Peaches. Big for peaches. Next question. Ducky, what's the best Friday the 13th movie?
I gotta look this one up. Which is the one with the fake Jason? I'm sure one of you know this off the top of your head. I don't think maybe it's part 5. Yes, Friday the 13th, part 5, A New Beginning. I'm going with that one. It is unrepentantly nasty and just a vile little movie, which I think works for Friday the 13th in a way that the other ones do not quite work when they're kind of pussyfooting around it. Second place I will give to Friday the 13th 3D.
I have only seen the first 4.
Oh,
I would say 4 is the best.
I'm
The
gonna give
final
it up.
chapter. So they didn't make any more after that.
True. True.
You guys gonna watch that Crystal Lake show?
Yeah, I'll probably do that. I don't know
Okay,
anything
good.
about it.
You can tell me if it's any good then.
I think the only Friday the 13th movie I have not seen is Jason X.
You haven't seen Jason X?
That's crazy. That's one of 3
That's-
that I've seen.
No, I know. I gotta watch.
I'm just genuinely shocked Sam hasn't seen it.
You know, I'm a sick pervert, and I've not seen that. But Jason Lives. Jason Lives. 6. 6 is the one. 6 is just at 11 the whole time.
Yeah, the thing about like the last one I saw, the final chapter, is the best, but like, and I understand there are other good ones, but like the Friday the 13th movies kind of suck.
Fuck you. Fuck you. 8 and 9 though do suck. They're not good. They're not good. Manhattan and Jason Goes to Hell. I should try Jason Goes to Hell again. I feel like
2 is fun.
Jason Goes to Hell, the beginning sequence of it is I still like a lot, where it's like,
yeah,
it's such a 1993 thing where it's like the woman like goes to an isolated log cabin and just takes her clothes off for some reason, and then it turns out it's a fucking like joint task force sting to like
Yes,
shoot
it's
basic
so
grenade
good.
launchers. And then after that, it turns into like one of those fucking like just one of those movies where they're like, we need to come up with lore.
Yeah. It gets rough after that.
If the
Jason's a
first like
parasite.
if the first 20 minutes of Friday the 13th part 2 wasn't just Friday the 13th, part 2 would be like far and away probably the best that I've seen. Like once Friday the 13th part 2 starts cooking, they're cooking. But
Yeah.
that recap sequence is so fucking long.
Yeah.
It's a movie
I think
that
it's
came
pretty
out
funny.
a year after the first one.
It's pretty funny.
Just
I mean, it's
I don't
like
even give a
1981.
shit.
It's not like you have like it's not like half the people in America have VHS players.
It's like I understand if you cut it, it's only like an hour-long movie, but that hour is awesome.
Anyway,
And what you say your favorite
So-
was? I forgot already.
oh,
What did Sam? What did you say your favorite was?
6.
6,
Jason
okay.
Lives.
I have only seen the first one. This is crazy. The first one, Jason X and Freddy vs. Jason. I would say they're all
Dan,
awful.
Honestly, the fact that 2009 Friday the 13th isn't one of them is shocking to me.
I did not see that. Oh, Wait a second. Oh, Jared Padalecki's in that. That sounds vaguely
Yeah.
familiar. I don't remember it at all, but it does seem like something I would have seen.
It's
And
like
that's when I was going to movies like every week too. So maybe it didn't. It probably sucked too. But of those, I honestly think Freddy vs. Jason might be the best. They're all bad.
you guys are straight up fucking haters. Anyway,
That there's a movie called like a documentary called like Crystal Lake Memories or something like that. That was a fun watch. It's just they gathered up all the cast members to talk about what it was like being in Friday the 13th movies, and it was surprisingly interesting. For
And
that
then
premise.
Jason kills all of them.
And then Jason kills all. Kane Hodder comes out and says like, "I method act now."
that'd been cool. That'd been cool. Next up, next question. Logan, who is your dream opponent for Bryan Danielson that realistically will never happen?
Super Porky. I don't know.
That's good. Yeah, Black Terry probably won't happen.
Some dead wrestler. Some dead wrestler. Giant Bob
Abraham Lincoln.
gonna happen. Honest fucking Abe versus Bryan Danielson. Last question, because Stream Biscuit 420 did not put question marks in any of his other two posts, so I assume they're not questions. Cole, favorite episode of Tom Goes to the Mayor. No idea what that is.
Oh man, I like when Michael Ian Black's on it and there's like the secret handshake. It's like Rick a Dick a Dick. It doesn't mean anything if you haven't seen the show. I don't know.
I have actually never, like, I've seen Tom Goes to the Mayor, but I was like really young and I didn't get it.
I've never,
But I've never gone back and watched it.
What if you went to Mayor Kane?
That'd be awesome. But yeah, I've never seen Tom Goes to the Mayor. But I do enjoy many other Tim and Eric projects.
You
such
guys
as
on
awesome
cinema?
show, great job.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Are you guys on cinema at the cinema, people?
It's
No.
something that I've been told I would like, but I've never gotten around to it.
I would say it seems like you guys would get a kick out of it.
Yeah, it's I am not like a guy who's seen all of On Cinema, but I do really like On Cinema from what I have seen. I've seen like a good amount of the Oscar specials and some other stuff here and there. And some of the Decker stuff. It is really funny.
I mean, I love it. I've seen, but this is really on brave of me. I've seen every single bit of it until they started charging money for it. And I was like, all right, I'm good.
Wow. Dan hates paying for shit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I think this is
that was the last question.
What's that? That was the last question?
Last question.
Over. All right. Well, I think this has been a crushing defeat for us, for wrestling, for the integrity of voting in general. It's a hell of a way to ring in July 4th.
Lots of good things happening this July 4th. Things to celebrate, things to be happy for and about.
Congratulations to Eddie Kingston and Black Terry and Dean Rasmussen and
only one of which is
everyone else.
Live to hear congrats.
He's Eddie Kingston. I know you're listening. What's up, King? But to everyone else who was nominated, I'm sorry that you were failed by these awful, awful readers of our site.
I can't believe it. I was going to submit a question. Hey, how are you feeling about Mike Brown, Sam? You're going to pretend to like that?
I've already started pretending, brother.
Yeah,
I'm already there. I'm already like, you know what? He's plays a deep rotation. We could use that. We got Jordan Clarkson these days. He's gonna be our microwave scorer off the bench. That's gonna go well. Like these
Yeah,
are
I mean,
looking up,
we're
actually.
Like we don't want to end our seasons early in the playoffs. Let's bring in Mike Brown.
Yeah, it's to my knowledge, Mike Brown not being investigated by the FBI. So I think that's a +1 for him right now.
I mean,
So we'll see
Beasley
where it goes.
Beasley, free agent. So no
pick him up.
team,
I
no
pick him up.
team being investigated.
Why am I supposed to not be happy about Mike Brown?
How is
Dan?
he appreciably different than Thibs?
More willing to listen to the front office, more willing to be a part of the team, be collaborative. You know,
Okay. All right.
we're looking for a team player here on the New York Knickerbockers. I know you, as a Cavs fan, know nothing about that. So
Yeah, as a Cavs fan, I know nothing about Mike Brown.
you know nothing about Mike Brown specifically. Um, you know what? I think Knicks have at least one player, maybe two, better than any player that Mike Brown has ever coached. So I think we're headed in a good direction here, Dan. Good
No
You're
direction.
right, you're
arguments
right.
here.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of a single one. So
Yeah, I
Nope.
cannot think of two prominent players that Mike Brown coached.
Big De'Aaron Fox head over here. All right, interesting. That's a wrap, folks. See you next week for episode 58. What, Chris?
Oh, I was just saying, I wasn't talking about De'Aaron Fox. I was talking about future Piston Malik Monk.
Oh, also listen to the new Q&TR if you haven't. You should. I think they did an episode this week. That we
They
forgot to
did.
plug.
Wolf
They
tickets.
did. We fucked up. We did a whole thing about what's been on the site.
Maybe it was on
We'll
purpose.
talk about it. Whoa.
Well, if you made it this far into the episode, you can listen to Q&TR as like a special secret treat that only you
Yeah,
know
it's-
about now.
It's a little dessert.
That's
a little
like the
dessert for your
mid-credit
holiday.
scene. It's Nick Fury comes out and is like, have you ever heard of the Q&TR initiative?